Ladies and gentlemen, it is my time to bring you this game, which might also be delicious. It's Quantic Gaming SaSe, and he is in the red trunks. He is playing Protoss to the west of the dual site versus his opponent. It's Nightend, currently up one game in his best-of-3 series. He is playing Protoss in the red trunks to the east.
And both of these guys being Warcraft 3 players, of course. Nightend was always decent, but he was never, like, top in Warcraft 3. He did used to play for MTW, which is a decent Warcraft 3 team.
Yep.
But comparing him to the likes of SaSe, you know, SaSe was literally regarded as a legend, as they say, a legend within Warcraft 3, living in China, playing there in their circuit competitively, having one of the highest earnings and salary. This guy was good, and in StarCraft 2, he came into StarCraft 2 very late.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he was just like the best. He just became so good so fast. And he's a very hardworking individual. One of the hardest, actually, no, it's like him and Naniwa are just so dedicated to the cause. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, SaSe's got this advantage really over quite a lot of pro players that he doesn't mind being in other countries. Like, he doesn't seem to have culture shock at any point. He stayed in China for years. Then he's just said, I'm going to Korea. He just stayed there. A lot of other players go to Korea for a month and they find the environment, I wouldn't say hostile, but it's too much for them. They can't deal with it. SaSe, on the other hand, he doesn't care. You know, he stayed at the GOM house, he stayed at the IM house, he travels around a bit. He just seems to adapt to any culture he goes into, and it benefits his play.
It's tough, actually. I mean, I lived in Korea too, and the food is just completely different to European food. It's complete. Everything is with rice. You don't get potatoes, and you know, it's just completely weird. And then the fact that nobody speaks English either. It's like, oh.
Some of the food's still alive as well when you try to eat it. So
exactly. I had octopus that decided to crawl up my throat and out my mouth again. I'm like, get down. I like grab a beer and like pour it down my throat.
I can just see Tasteless getting like a plunger and just shoving it down your throat. Like, get in there, damn it.
I know, and I'm like, whoa, Tasteless like, eat it.
Just eat it. Yeah, I'd actually see Tasteless doing that. I've actually watched the video of Tasteless eating the live octopus. He was totally cool with it, but I think he was there with, oh, what's her name? Elaine, yeah, exactly, and she was not cool with it at all, that I could guarantee.
And second gas been put down by Nightend, and likewise here for SaSe, and I really do think we're going to see pretty much the same build. SaSe, if he wants to do it again, it's a very good map here to harass the back of the base once again. Yeah,
definitely.
But he needs to be a little bit more aggressive and more assertive, because he needs to be going in earlier. Simply because once you get to 2-3 Immortals, there's nothing you can do with Blink Stalker. It doesn't matter how good your control is, because even if you focus down one Immortal, there's 2 more going to be tanking and doing so much more damage to you. So he needs to get in there faster. And meanwhile, if you think about it, Nightend went into the robotics facility first, so he could actually get the Immortals out faster. And at that point in time, he actually doesn't have anything to actually stop any early aggression. And they actually do see a second gateway going down here for SaSe. And meanwhile, he's poking up here, but a third Stalker is not that far away from finishing here for Nightend.
Oh, he managed to get the pylon down just before his probe dies. Last disc gas button, just see it diving on the floor and then just pressing that one button before he expires. What a brave little soldier he is. Unfortunately, I don't think that pylon's going to go up. Nightend's going to apply pressure to it. Well, I don't know. It depends how good this engagement is right here for SaSe. The shield's already down on there. Nightend pulls that Stalker back. SaSe is supposed to pull one back there as well. Nightend's getting taking a lot of hits right here from that, and there's a cancel on both. One Stalker down on either side. That brave Zealot charging up the ramp right here to protect the pylon. Will there be a warp in available? There will not, because warp gate is not done for another 20 seconds, and by that point that pylon should die.
This is a really smart play from SaSe. Basically what he's doing now is he's doing the exact same thing, just faking pressure, forcing Nightend to actually go double gateway before robotics facility. You know, as we talked about before, is that Nightend just went one gate robo and was able to get Immortals out super fast.
Yeah.
And so SaSe has forced him to throw down extra gateways in anticipation to defend against aggression. Meanwhile, we're actually seeing SaSe going up to the Twilight Council. He's going to be able to throw down Blink pretty much now, and he's also gone for these extra gateways as well.
Yeah, it's nice actually. SaSe was really clever with charging up the ramp and forcing a force field, because there was no way at that point that the pylon could die, simply because Nightend was stuck in his own base. That allowed him to put some pressure on with warpins. Not too many. He doesn't want to commit here, and Nightend now should be able to win this engagement.
And SaSe is just going to go ahead and expand very shortly here, and he's just going to use Blink and his Observer in a more defensive manner. So we should be seeing SaSe come down to look to expand very, very shortly here. I mean, he's a high probe count, man. He's at like 29 already, and that is more than one base saturation. So if he keeps on building probes and he doesn't expand soon, it's like, well, SaSe.
He's gone to 4 gateways. I mean, I have to wonder if like this is going to be, he's going to start applying the 4 gateway pressure, then try and expand behind that.
Yeah, he has to expand. I mean, he's up to 4 gateways, so he can actually defend while expanding. If he doesn't expand, it's like, why is he still building probes? Unless he's making the biggest mistake of his life, then SaSe is not a player who does that. So
no.
He's going to move out a little bit, but he should be expanding very, very shortly here.
Yeah, Observer's going to see this move out right here. He's going to see a few units here and there. He can't confirm exactly how many gateways are there just yet, but he will know in the next 20 or so seconds. In the meantime, Nightend on 3 gateways, and he's going for the Immortal as well. The Immortal is now out for Nightend. He'll try to maybe Chrono Boost out a second one. We could get back into a situation here where SaSe doesn't have the forces to do damage enough in order to bring these Immortals down. He's going to have to start applying pressure before the second one comes out.
Yeah, but I mean, he's going to still have the same problem. With this build is that you basically have map control and the mobility to do whatever you want. Therefore, you should be looking to expand. And if your opponent decides to try to punish it with slow Immortals and so on, you can actually stop him coming because you can easily just go harass and blink into his base. And I'm surprised that we haven't seen SaSe expand yet, and he is going to start knocking on this door, but there's the second Immortal about to come out. Third one, is he already in construction? Ooh. Yeah,
this is giving me some very bad deja vu here, and I'm not liking it, honestly. Those Immortals are going to start chewing through the shields of those Stalkers, and SaSe surely knows this, but he's building probes again. It's going to take him to 31. He must surely be thinking about expanding at this point, but if he keeps warping in this aggressively, he's never going to have the money for it.
Yeah, nice force fields, though, picking off a few units here, and third Immortal needs to get out to be 100% safe against this.
Yeah, those Immortals are blasting their way through. The sentries are now down as well. SaSe continuing to blink around, but nothing is happening. I'm not convinced by this. I'm really not. This is looking really bad for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's at such a high probe count. He's at 31. He's chrono motion into the gateway, so he's going to continue to build units. But now the fourth Immortal is coming out. We're actually having the same scenario as last game, where SaSe can't beat this army. There's like no way he can beat this army, so I don't know what he's trying to do here. Look, he's even losing Stalkers now cluelessly, and we have the Robotics Bay coming down. He's at 31 probes. It's so high, he cancels the Robotics Bay now, and I don't know, man. SaSe just doesn't look like his usual self right now.
He's building another probe. He must expand.
Okay, so he is going to expand now, but you know, that could have been done such a long time ago.
He's going to go DT and expand, actually. There you go. Good God.
So, I mean, the Observers actually for Nightend is checking around the entire of the map, being like, he has to expand. He has to expand somewhere. Yeah. So, and it actually was waiting around on the natural and not seeing it. He was looking for a hidden expansion with the Observers. So now he's going to go back and see it eventually. But DT's coming in. He doesn't. Well, he could go DTs, but he's going to be going into Archon, Zealot Archon for sure, because it's very, very good against Immortals. Immortals are actually terrible against Zealots, of course. So if you get to a decent high enough count, then they're going to be able to surround very easy. The problem is now is that basically Nightend's just going to go for like a 2, maybe 3 Colossus push, probably going to be 2, and he's just going to have so much damage output that these Zealots won't even make a difference.
Yeah, and SaSe's build is very interesting here. I do have to wonder if that was a deliberately very slow Nexus, perhaps even to confuse Nightend. But it is still a bit dangerous. We'll see. With his opponent stuck on one base, I suppose he can try and pull that off. But Army Supply tells a fairly ugly story here for SaSe. He has managed to bring in another round of units, but it's still 48 to 59.
The thing is, remember, there's only one Observer, and it is in the center of the map, actually. So if DTs were warped in, he could actually do a lot of damage here. There's not another one being made, and the Observer is coming home. And it hasn't seen the Dark Shrine, but it is going to go all the way back home. And now, every second that advances into this game, SaSe is going to get a bigger lead, because now he's going to be able to saturate that natural, and there are 2 DTs being warped in, and unfortunately, it is like the worst timing ever, because the Observer's about to come with the army.
Yeah, he's going to have to be very careful to stay out of the way of that, and of course, as long as the Observer doesn't go up there, he's going to spot that one. So he knows that that's there. The Observer's now been taken out, SaSe, but he didn't see the DTs. The DTs are still in the back right now. They could do significant damage. There's another Dark Templar in here, and this force is now rolling out. It's out of position at the moment. The question is, where are those Dark Templar?
They are with the army right now, so...
That's an interesting decision, considering that the Observer is with the army. there was no way really for him to get past there. It was a very narrow window, but he couldn't confirm it because he couldn't see where the observer actually was. Quick blink gives us some information on the composition of his enemy.
SaSe needs to be throwing down some more gateways as well, because he's now been able to, he will be able to ramp up his production as he's now expanded. But I'm getting scared, man, because this army, look at the army size, it's 77 to 65. That's a big difference, and now we are actually going to see an expansion come down from Nightend. Nightend doesn't want to play passive right now. He'd much rather play for an aggressive game, but at the same time, he has to think about Blink Stalkers harassing him, DTs as well. And SaSe's just going to go ahead and move a Zealot to scout the bottom right side bases as well. Wants to make sure that there is no hidden expansion. And I'm still getting scared for SaSe, man.
It's getting better for him, though. It really, really is. Nightend has delayed quite significantly, and the probe lead is at 10. So SaSe's being able to build an awful lot more units. He's warping in Dark Templar as well.
Oh, these Blink Stalkers are going to get caught a little bit off guard here.
Mashed up, yeah. That's not so good. Where is that observer? The observer is with the Force. He still can't get the Dark Templar past. He can't even engage there. Nightend actually has 4 observers. That is the most I've ever seen in any game at any point.
He must have seen them somehow. And, let's have a look in the base of SaSe now. So let's have a look how many Immortals he has. He has 2, a third one in production right now. 2 Archons, 3 Archons in total about to come out now. So it's going to be okay, because like I said, as the game goes on, the more ahead SaSe is going to get, because he's just going to be able to have more stuff. Yeah. And I really like the addition of the Warp Prism right now. He's going to be able to warp in stuff into the back of the base as well. Nightend's economy is not that good. Only just now is his second base finishing up. And I wouldn't... I'm trying to think who would win head-to-head in this fight. The Colossus is going to make a world of difference, but I just think the Zealot count is... Especially with Zealot Charge, they're going to be able to do so much damage combined with these Archons as well that Nightend's army may not be up to scratch. Yeah,
you know, a common mistake that, say, a low-level observer might make is that, oh, it's Archons versus Immortals. Immortals are great, right? No, they're not, actually, because those units do not count as armored. They are actually psionic, which is a different armor type, meaning that Immortals actually kind of tickle them, especially considering how much shield power they have available. And, of course, Zealots being the frontline units in this force, Immortals don't do anything to them either. So Nightend's Immortal force is going to be blunted here, and that's 5 Immortals worth of supply and investment. That's quite large.
And SaSe stopped building probes for a long time now. He's just focusing on his army. And he's adding on a couple more gateways as well. And where did that cheeky Warp Prism go? There it is. So it has an Immortal, Zealot. So the Immortal's going to be basically put down behind the army so that he can start to target onto the Colossus as well. So we may even see actually 2 Immortals go in there. But he's got to be so careful. No, doesn't want to lose any units.
It should be all right. The Archon will get out of there, and shield regeneration is fairly rapid on Archons.
So there's the Warp Prism and 2 the Warp Prism and 2 Immortals. They will be used to drop behind the army. His army control, if SaSe controls this amazingly well, he could beat this army.
Yeah, he can.
Especially if he manages to get the Warp Prism to behind the army to start targeting down Colossus, because 2 Immortals are going to be able to bam, 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 bam.
That's exactly what they're going to do.
That's what they're going to do, man. They're going to bam, bam.
Bam, bam.
Exactly.
It's Apollo's smooth jazz casting.
He's actually hidden away in the trees right now, and he's got to be careful not to reveal that.
They're coming from the trees, man. They're coming from the trees.
Ooh, doesn't want to fight there, though. That's kind of a bad place to fight for SaSe.
Yeah, it really is not ideal, but looks like he's going to try and get... Oh, he's got to be so careful not to lose that Warp Prism. That would be disastrous right here, but he's able to get out of there now.
This is so tense right now between these 2 guys.
No kidding. Good God. This is quite the PvP. One of the best I've had a pleasure to watch in a while. And here it comes. 2 Immortals coming in. Zealot's already moved in to try and engage there, and he's trying to force his opponent out of position so that he can get a good engagement there and just snipe off what he can. Pylon will be easily destroyed by this Immortal drop in the back here. Nightend's now supply blocked, actually, so that's a kick in the teeth. He's going to be supply blocked for another 25 seconds.
The thing is that Nightend's getting +1 and SaSe is not, so the longer this goes on now, Nightend's going to get a bit of an advantage, especially if that +1 completes before the engagement. Meanwhile, the Immortals are doing a lot of damage here. They're going to be able to kill probes immediately fast too. And so toe-to-toe right now. Robotics Bay is coming down for SaSe, a second robotics facility, realizing that, if I try to fight in this choked area, then it's not going to work out. So he's actually just going to be like, all right, whatever, pro production, 3rd base, let's go.
Yeah, 3rd base is not exactly a common sight in PvP, but this is not a common sight in PvP either. An incredibly tense game between those 2 players right now. SaSe, of course, 1 game away from being knocked out of the tournament, does not want to lose at this point. And Nightend is holding this area quite nicely. The +1 will kick in, and that will start to make a big difference in this composition. So SaSe's got to be really careful. He's already behind supply-wise. Army supply for Nightend is significantly ahead.
Bam, bam, bam,
bam, bam, bam. Fantastic analysis.
My play-by-play is the sickest, man.
You have the best play-by-play. So I'm going to do analysis on this. You can do the play-by-play.
I know. All I do is like make sounds.
Pretty much, yeah.
Bam, 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 bam.
That's great. If our sound card actually ever breaks, then we can just use you as a backup source.
Yeah, man. I could do a zealot like.
That's not really a zealot, though, is it? Does it sound? No, I don't think so.
I could do the war prism like.
Zoom. Right. Okay. You sound like an 80s sci-fi movie right now. It's pretty
bad.
Cool. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh God, no! No! Oh no, dear God.
But we are actually seeing like a double robotics facility pumping out Colossus now. Yeah. And this actually may turn the game around for Nightend. Is these DTs? If he actually sends them around the map, I don't really think SaSe has too much to stop this. Actually, looking around, this third base is very, very naked, and so is that natural actually.
Yeah, this is getting dangerous one way or the other. We actually might be looking at a PvP that goes to 200 supply. When was the last time you saw that?
A long time ago. Long time ago.
Good
and
God.
This probe is trying to find that third base. SaSe says no.
No, absolutely not.
This third base is making a big difference for SaSe right now. Double Colossus is coming out. So let's have a look at the Colossus count currently. 7. Oh my God, Nightend has so much. 2 for SaSe. But he's going to catch up. He's going to be at 4 in a second, then he's going to be at 6. So the longer this goes on, again, now it's turning around. But still, you have to think about the upgrades. SaSe's at +1, and Nightend's about to be at +2.
Yeah, it's so scary for both of these guys at the moment. And it's got to be a maxed out army. It can't be anything else.
Nightend's going to go. He has to go. As this observer, the south side, sees this third base, he's going to be like, no!
Oh, no, we can't let that happen. We've got to strike. He's moving out right now. SaSe's building 3 Colossus at once. That's going to take his count up to 7 after this. So this is going to be an extremely equal fight, one way or the other. Nightend will have the upgrade advantage. It will still, however, I think, come down to positioning and engagement, especially with arcs of fire on these Colossi. It's going to be a huge war of the worlds going on between these two. A 4th is being taken, really.
Yeah, Nightend has to go right now. I mean, he's maxed out. The thing is, though, double Colossus, they need to get into the army right away. These two on the natural have to move.
Oh my, he's getting it. Okay, he's moving out right now, and this is what's coming in. Nightend has 5 observers. This is
+1 versus +2.
Oh, it's going to be tricky right here. SaSe is deliberately moving forward to try and get a couple of shots off before he engages. And this is going to be tense one way or the other. This engagement will decide who goes forward. If Nightend takes it, straight 2-0 into the next round, the round of 8. If not, we'll be going into a 3rd game.
+2 is still 100 seconds away, and oh my God, that's a bad place for Nightend to fight, actually.
Yeah, he's gone right into the choke, and there's the choke. Oh my God, I've never seen Archons melt so fast. And right now, Nightend moving out as rapidly as possible. Zealots being annihilated on both sides. Good God. SaSe is down 164 supply. Nightend at 188. And once again, more engagements coming in.
The Colossus count is getting very high for SaSe right now.
Yeah, it is. He is sitting on 8, and he's getting good arcs of fire here. No charging Zealots means that Zealots in this engagement are absolutely useless right here. But look at the amount of Colossus on both sides. Nightend smashing his way through right here. Stalker support coming in. Colossus 4 for SaSe. Oh no, Nightend's going to crash his way through. And the Dark Templar undetected. Oh no, that is that. Nightend annihilates the army. The DTs went completely unscouted in that mix. And the Colossus all remain alive. There are 10 Colossus on the field. And that is that. SaSe cannot stop this now.
Yeah, I mean, 2-1 versus 1-0 in that fight. DTs going undetected, melting the gateway count at the front. And we actually have SaSe still fighting. 5 DTs are in this army. And where is that observer?
Well, there's 4. Actually, a lot of the observers were killed. Nightend lost most of his observers here. So a counterattack with DTs does shove him away. I don't know, he could.
There's nothing to do. You can't stop these Colossus. No. You can't stop Colossus. Observer with the army now. SaSe, as much as he wants to stay in this game, he can't stop the Colossus. There's actually no way. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of bases here, but of course this one's going to go down immediately, and the fourth base is actually mining right now, so...
How do you stop this Colossus at 2-1?
I don't see how you can. I don't see how you can.
No, look at that, look at that. Oh.
It's a massacre. If he could take the Observer out, he might be in a good position, but no, it's not going to happen, I'm afraid. And Nightend is going to smash his way through this in an excellent performance, and one of the most ridiculous PvP we've seen in a very, very long time. Nightend forces his way forward, and SaSe has nothing to resist.
This was so close, and then so far away. And look at this. Oh, Nightend is just going to smash through, and SaSe.
GG, Nightend, very well done. He goes through the round of 8. SaSe is out of this tournament. And what an unfortunate set of games for him.
And SaSe is out, and he is going to be feeling that pain. He will not be enjoying this right now.
Oh,
we mentioned before, his hard work in day 1 and day 2 has now been undone. Nightend, on the other hand, congratulations to Nightend. This is probably becoming one of his highlights in his career.
Yeah.
He now has to go up against, let me double check really fast.
Yeah, we'll see if it's White Rock. If it's White Rock, he gets another PvP and he plays like that.
1-1. Nama actually pulls back this series 1-1. So White Rock 1-1 versus Nama. These are the only 2 games going on right now, so...
Yeah, what's happening at the moment is we're only running 2 streams at present because we're rotating out casters, so there's 2 teams on and 1 team off.
Day9 is signing right now.
Yeah,
so,
he is, yeah. And we'll be doing that later as well at 2 p.m. in the Players Lounge for Twitch TV in Hall C. Whatever the case, who is going to win that matchup?
I don't know. I'm actually going to bring it up on the screen behind us.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know. I mean, we'll be starting another game quite shortly, most likely about 7 minutes, but...
In about 10 minutes, we'll be going into Puma versus Genius, so
such a good game.
Don't go anywhere.
Definitely not. But in the meantime, remember, there is the other stream on. Go check it out. Go see what's going on in that. Find out who's going to win. If it's White Raw wins against that, Nightend gets another PvP. He could potentially go through it with a round of 4, which I believe would be, in a tournament of this caliber, that is incredibly well done for Nightend. So we'll see what happens. We're going to go watch this game. You should too. TeamLiquid.net over to the right-hand side. Go check that out. And we will be back on the Steel Series stage with Puma versus Genius very shortly.